Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Sisterhood Society podcast. We are so excited to be here with you today. And we decided after a lot of heavy episodes, we're going to give you something light and fun, probably because we need that as well. Like, I just feel like the last few episodes we've cried. We've really dived into the depths of our hearts. And now we're ready to just talk about something stupid. So long story short, we're going to do silly questions today. We're going to do a little life update. Do a little 75 hard check-in maybe, because we've done a full week already. And so anyways, we're just going to talk about also how Whitney has risen from the dead and is literally finally not sick for the most part. So anyways, let's just get right into it. So let's start with Whit now that we have seen a miracle right before our very own eyes.
I don't think I'm fully healed yet. I'm still coughing and congested, but it's been like a month and a half.
Yeah.
I'm sick. And then I was sick over Thanksgiving. But I've decided today that I'm going to do a fruits and veggies fast, kind of like a Daniel fast for at least 14 days. And hopefully that improves my condition, because if not, I think I'm a goner. I think I've got a plague on my house. Like, we are counted for and our days are numbered.
This is a great segue into promoting our sponsor of this video, which is Mixers. So I just want to tell you guys really quick, if you are not drinking Her Defense every day, you will turn into Whitney and you'll get the plague. So I just need you to know, get your Stanley from us. We're going to have a new tumbler that won't be such a godforsaken shipping time coming in February. That's more good news for the future. That's a what's good. And fill it with some water, fill it with some Her Defense. It's now called Her Guard, but it is a daily dose of vitamin C and zinc and high antioxidant minerals and vitamins that you need to not get sick. So if Whitney hadn't run out of her defense, she may be still,
she might have lived.
She might have lived with us and didn't have to use my healing skills to raise her from the dead. So
That's true.
I'm kidding. But we do have a code. It's Royal at checkout. If you guys would like to check out Mixers, I just talked about them on Instagram this week, and tons of you guys messaged us saying either that you used it or you've been wanting to use it. And I think our biggest question is, a lot of people are like, does it really work? I swear by all of the mixers that I use. It's one of the only things in my life that I can say with so much conviction, like 100% I've seen the results. And we've been taking mixers for over a year now, right?
A year and a half, yeah.
Year and a half, maybe 2 years. So,
well, and I feel like the biggest question I get is like, okay, I can't afford to jump in and do like 5 or 6 of them. So which one's the most important? And I wholeheartedly Her Defense every time.
Yeah.
So I like Her Power, but I like my Plexus one better. So I actually use that for like my energy. But the Her Power, like if I had to pick between the two, it would either be Her Power or Her Defense, or Her Guard, whatever they're talking about. But I feel like the Her Guard is the one that you can't live without. It's like
totally.
As soon as I like if I'm in between shipments, it's like I feel like colds come on.
Yeah. You guys also live in a really harsh climate. So if you're not like doubling up on your vitamins, or I should say doubling down on your vitamins, like I feel like you're doubling up or doubling down. What is the phrase? Is it doubling up, doubling down?
Usually double down on your vitamins.
But you could also double up. What is it?
You could double up on it.
Okay, sorry, I didn't ask Whitney what her good was. So yes, go use our code Royal at mixers.com, and that's MIXHERS, like her as in the, what is it? What are those called? Pronoun. I'm just like trying to think of what it's called. It's formulated by women for women, so it's a really great product that we all love. Okay, Whit, what is your
good? Was that she's not dead?
Oh yes, she's raised from the dead, just like Lazarus. Instead of 3 days, it took her 64.
That was very true. It really did. And I'm still not even fully like back to normal. And then Isaac has now taken a turn for the worse. So we're just,
oh my gosh.
If you're listening, just say a little prayer for our family, because truly, like, we just can't get a break here. But I am feeling better. My energy is coming back slowly. I was able to leave the house this weekend, which was nice. So Isaac and I took Isaac's parents took the boys for an overnight. And so Isaac and I took Chi Chi out for food and then went to Target and got some more cold medicine. But it was nice because it was like the first time we'd been out since Christmas. And it's been a 2.5 week long stretch of us just not leaving the house. So it was kind of nice to be able to feel slightly normal again. So that's my good.
Nice. Tara?
Well, I helped out with a friend's wedding on Friday night, which is super fun. It's a little bizarre to know that we're old enough that our kids are getting married. And so I think this is the first of my friend's kids getting married. But anyway, it was beautiful. It was at the Scottish Rite in Peoria, which they're actually shutting down now. I guess there's something to do with, I don't know if it's a funds issue that they can't keep it going, but it was a beautiful space. And I actually thought it was fun. I was so anxious to see it because she is an event planner. And so it was like an event planner planning a wedding is going to be fun. So
it was her daughter. I don't think I picked up on that.
Yeah. And so what they did, which was genius, is that the actual theater itself has like theater seating, and then the main floor, the seating had been taken out so you can put like chairs down and stuff. So for the ceremony, they did that. And then everybody came downstairs for cocktail hour and dinner. And then they went back upstairs for the reception. And so they had moved the chairs out, and then they had put the dance floor down and where like the ceremony was at. And then the stage that they had actually had the ceremony on, they had a curtain down. And when they pulled up the curtain, there was like a seating area, and they had done like another bar up there. And they had all the cake set up on different like tiered trays. And then they had a like ice cream truck and stuff there. It was like super, super cute. And but what was fabulous about it from the standpoint of like our end is that we were able to tear down the entire dinner area while everyone went upstairs. So we were completely tore down by 8:30. And I was like, this is the most genius idea I've ever seen. Because usually you're sitting in the reception room the rest of the night and trying to like tear down. You have to wait till basically the thing's over. You can clear plates and stuff like that. But like we worked an event this summer, and I don't think we left till like 11:30 or 12. And we were pulling plates and dishes all night long.
Right.
So anyway, it was just fun to see. And it was gorgeous. She looked fabulous. The bride was obviously beautiful. And so,
Nice.
so yeah, it was just a fun night. It was like, reunion time to see all the friends.
I was going to say, I went to my best friend's sister's wedding in December, and I was asking like about the event space because it was really cool. And I won't say it just because I don't know if this is like private. I guess it's probably online. You could get a consultation, but I asked how much it cost. Okay, so you know how much mine costs. Think of the number.
Yeah.
It was like 3.5 times what mine costed. And I've only been married, I'll have been married this year for 10 years. And I was like shocked. But I mean, the only difference now is that a lot of people aren't getting married at like a church. So you don't have like to decorate the church and the reception, like what you just said, people are kind of doing it at like the same spot.
Yeah.
So that saves you a little bit of time and money. And also like, it's way more convenient for the guests not to have to like leave the church and go somewhere. I guess both of you, oh no, wait, you got married at the event space and then we went to mom and dad's, but I was thinking about it and I was like, the last few weddings I've been to have all been like reception and ceremony are in the same area, which is so nice. Like, but anyways, I was really surprised how expensive it is to get married in Nashville. I was like, whoa, that is wild.
And
And
in general is just super expensive. Like
yeah,
the whole thing is a racket.
I mean, I guess inflation, and also we live in a big city that's gotten bigger in the last 10 years, but I just like, I understand dad's like sentiment around like, it's just one day, like don't spend all this money. So it's only going to get worse, obviously, as time goes on, but it just seems like I'm wondering somehow if the industry will change, because I don't know if you guys follow Maddie Pruitt, who was one of the girls on The Bachelor on Pilot Pete season. I think she actually like won and they broke up, right? This girl on TikTok is a wedding planner / like coordinator, whatever, and she estimated that wedding to be over $1 million.
I'm not surprised.
Did you?
That's insane. But I guess at some point, I mean, if you have the disposable income, and she might have had some of the vendor stuff donated since she's
Right.
faced.
But like her floral budget alone was like hundreds of thousands.
The floral budget is the part that I just never understand, because it's like you're gonna literally get to look at it for 30 minutes and then it's over. Like it just.
Yeah, I didn't really care about flowers at our wedding. That should be an episode we talk about weddings. Next up, we'll break down all 3 of our weddings. Or did we do that? No, we just said favorite memory from our wedding.
Yeah.
We should dedicate an episode to each wedding.
Yeah, that would be
talk about the ins and outs, the ups and the whole lot of downs that surrounded mine.
Oh no.
Gosh. Also, just so you guys know, we were just talking about this before we started filming. Wow. We are going to preemptively, we're looking at February for the Patreons. We're going to strategize what kind of episodes we want to put up. And that way, when you guys actually sign up for the Patreon, there'll be like backlogged content for you to listen to and watch. So we'll keep you abreast. My favorite word. Keep you abreast of the updates coming to that. But okay, so your good was the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Whitney's good was getting out of the house. Okay, what is my good? I'm trying to think. I don't know. I feel like I've had some random good things. Phil's out of town this weekend, so I made myself a tarot type of list where I was writing things down I'd already done so I could cross them off. But I just have a lot of like random, like those annoying tasks, they're in the back of your head, like returns you need to make, getting your car washed, stuff in your trunk that needs to be like dropped off at Goodwill.
Reorganizing a Tupperware cupboard.
Yes, like there's certain things that have been like nagging in my mind that I was like, I need to write them down. Like washing your duvet cover. Isn't that so annoying? Mine's in the dryer right now. And like thinking about getting off this podcast and putting it back together is just like, I'm just
you really kind of mess that
dreading
up
it.
because that's kind of a 2-person job. It's way easier if you have another person.
I know it is. I've done it before on my own. There's a lot of things I've learned to do on my own because I have a husband who's gone all the time. In the last 3 years, we've been very blessed that Phil's been home more. But the last time I saw Kelsey, we were talking about like her year, and she was like, try to keep me off the road. Like she was like joking about how busy this year was going to be. And that was like the first indication. I was like, okay, mental prep. This is going to be a busy year. Phil's going to be gone a lot. Like when she said that, I knew she meant it. Like, okay, like it's a big touring season. So, but I only have 2 really big house projects that I want to get done. One is building my library upstairs in the loft. And the other one is I've decided there's a blank wall that's like part of the staircase that I want to put like coat hooks on. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The one that's like in your kitchen.
It's like in not where the bench is, but the wall to the right of where the bench is.
Oh,
like
okay.
There's like this weird blank, like after you come in the garage and turn, it's like right there. After that little alcove. I was like, even though it might look messy, it'd be better than me having nowhere to put my coat or my bag.
Mm-hmm.
So, but everyone has coats, everyone's got to put their coat somewhere. And I've been thinking about it a lot. Every time people visit, they have nowhere to put their stuff. And then their coats end up on my bar stools. And I really don't like that. So I'm making a change. I'm buying coat rack hangers today. So anyways, that I don't know if any of that is like good, but it's like nice to feel accomplished, like getting things like I feel like January is the month of like you don't do anything, you don't go anywhere. Everyone's got COVID, so you just get stuff done in your house and that feels nice. And I'm on book 7 of the year.
Dang.
I'm about to film some TikToks this afternoon and then I have to ship a bunch of samples. So I'm going to organize all the things to go into a Sunday with a Monday with like everything checked. Anyways.
You do a 75 hard check-in?
What'd you say?
75 hard check-in?
Oh yeah. So I'm on we're on the same day of the week as the year. So it's January 8th. So we're on day 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Today was the first day that I woke up and I was like, I feel skinny. Do you know that TikTok sound? Do you know that TikTok sound where it was like this girl got a hate comment on one of her like posts that says something like, so you're anorexic? And she was like, so you're saying I'm skinny? I literally was thinking that when I woke up. I was like, I don't feel bloated anymore. I'm feeling a little bit better about myself. Phil said my face looked thinner, and that's just a gorgeous compliment because this double chin is very stubborn. It was like the first day where I woke up and I was like, oh, it's been a week. I can see like a little progress or progress. Yesterday I texted the girls and I was like, you guys, I'm seeing a little progress. I measured my stomach and it went down half an inch, but I typed it progress, and Tara's like, hey, progress is progress.
It made me
like, you were trolling me. I was like, okay, smartass. And you were like, wait, what?
I was legitimately trying to be supportive. I didn't even notice that you had spelled it wrong. And my phone, I spelled it correctly and my phone switched it to the way you did it.
That is
Twice.
So weird.
Twice.
I thought you were like trying to be a jerk.
Man, I thought that was so funny. I was like, man, Tara's being really witty.
I literally was like dying laughing. I was like, man, that was quick.
I know. I was like, okay, smart Alec, you're just trying to troll me here. And you're like, no, I was actually being like supportive of your goals. But yeah, I've hit all the tick marks and I found out you can hide your naked photos. Did you know that?
What?
There's a hide, not naked. I take pictures like in a sports bra, you
Yeah.
know, because of your daily photo. If you are on your photo at the top right on your iPhone, there's a little like circle with 3 dots and there's a hide feature and it goes to a hidden album, which is a very stunning feature, especially if someone's like, let me see a photo of your child. And you're like, oh, there's like all of these like naked progress or photos in your photo album. So I put it in our Facebook 75 hard group because I was like, just in case you need to like reference your phone and someone's hovering over your shoulder. That literally just happened to me with my father-in-law. I had like a underwear photo for like when we're gonna do 75 hard in November, and he was like coming up, and I was like, like did like a really quick like, oh, we're in June and I'm supposed to be in November, like because I was so nervous he was gonna like come around the corner and see it. So that
would be my worst nightmare.
Literally,
my father-in-law seeing a photo that I took as like a weigh-in something.
yes,
I want to die.
This is why I don't do
dragging your underwear out in front of your in-laws.
Yes.
This is why I don't do nude photos, because knowing me, Phil would be like, send me a nude, which he doesn't ever ask for. But if he did, and he's on the road and I'm like, sure, I would literally be so hyper like conscious that I was going to send it to Kevin that I would probably type in Kevin and send it to my father-in-law or like dad, you know. I literally like the thought makes me want to actually die. So
I'm always afraid that I would send it to Brent because Brent and Brian are so close in the phone.
That's what I'm saying, like
maybe just my luck.
I
well, see, our iPads and things like that are now connected to the kids' phone. So you have to be real careful with that iTunes account.
That's a good thought, actually. Yeah. Also, like, not that I care that people do this, but I am just not like, well, maybe this is getting too much into the weeds here. I wouldn't find myself to be an overly sensual person where I'm like, ooh, I'm going to take a picture of myself. And I've been in a place since the pandemic where I haven't been like thinking my body is that stunning or stellar. So I'm like, I'm not, maybe if I was like in a really fit place, I'd be like, yeah, let me take a nice photo of myself.
I mean, I feel like those are the only people that do take those photos.
That's true.
I don't see many, and not that I have been looking, but you know, on like Instagram, you've got the Instagram models. I mean, you've got like Kim Kardashian and Kylie and all of them. Like they all post stuff like that. But I think they think it's part of like what gets them the follows and stuff.
Let's just say this. Actually, I do see a lot of body positivity with women like of all shapes and sizes posting pictures like that. But I am not in a place in my life right now where I'm confident enough to post a thirst trap. you know,
Yeah.
nor
And
will-
I feel like I've never, even when I was, even like when I was younger and I could, if I wanted to. I mean, you can post them at any time, but in my brain, like that would have been the time that I would have posted them. I didn't want to.
Also, have you guys seen that clip with Girl with No Job when she said her goals for 2023 is to start dressing more like a slut because she's in her last year for 20s. And she's like, if you're gonna dress provocative, like you got to do it in your 20s. And I only got one more year. So she's like, goals in 2023 is dressing like a whore.
Oh, no.
But when she was saying that, she was like joking, like she was going to show more of her arms, not like she's going to be in like a bikini. Like it was just really funny.
My goal is that I don't have to put my hand on my hip in photo because my arms will be toned enough that I won't.
Yeah, you gotta like spread out the chub.
Yeah.
Do a little toe point.
Well, don't you feel like how often do you get in a picture with girls that it's not all like everyone's trying to get their best angle and there's always a hand on the hip? And we all do it because you're trying to get like the best angle so that you don't feel like you look quote unquote big. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, I always go for I'm tall, I'll be in the back, but then my face looks chubby. So it's like, no matter what, I am, I'm just a chubby friend.
I made this mistake recently. We went to a friend's birthday party and it was definitely like your little like wedding photo situation. So I was in the back, but then I somehow ended up being in the middle. Like it looked like I was the birthday girl. So I ended up squatting down in front. Well,
never did squat
down. You can't squat down in front when you're 5'10". It just doesn't work. So I look like I'm photobombing the picture and I look like I'm larger than everyone else in the picture. Like it's not a good look.
We do group like family photos. I just always make Phil stand in front of me. That is the strategy.
You stand partly behind your husband. It works for everything. So
my goal for 2023 is to get to a place where I don't even think about those kind of things.
Same.
I was at that spot in 2020 where like it didn't cross my mind anymore because I didn't.
When you stopped eating.
It wasn't intentionally stopping eating, but yeah, essentially that's
you eat peanut butter for 2 meals a day.
You
know, we really should get on Mom's train because Mom's doing this juicing situation and she looks great. Skin's glowing. She looks stunning. And she's down like 7 pounds, got to eat what she wanted for Thanksgiving and she's giving it a rave review. And so I think that she's onto something over here. Well, she was like, I hope I can keep up with it in California. And I was like, you're literally going to the juice capital of America. I'm pretty sure you can find some great juices there.
That's funny.
So you're going to jump in.
I was going to give my 75 hard update.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go for that. Go for that.
Go for that. So yes, so I'm on the same day as Kate. I have had 2 instances now where I've left my outdoor walk until like 10 or later. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not the most ideal. And Friday night I had not done it before the wedding because the whole day it just went like there was no time. Britton had to have a birthday snack for school. I had to drop her off. I had to pick her up. Kiara was coming. I had to be over there at 4. It just was like nothing was working. Yeah. So I didn't get it done. Briggs had woken up that morning, so couldn't do it before the day started. So I came home and I was like this close to just like, you know what, I'm just gonna start fresh tomorrow. And then it's that dang accountability group that Kate started, and I was just like, I've got to be the example for these people.
She's like, I'm the admin of the group. I can't
be the admin. I can't fail them and have to start over on day 7. Or day 6. So I literally got home at 10. No, I got home at 10:30, put on my coat, my shoes, and went walking. So I think I got done. I think it was 10:45 when I got out there. It was 11:30 when I got done. So
I think I texted you, was it Thursday night? And I hadn't done my workout yet. And I got home from the salon at like 9. I had a hair appointment and it ran late. And I had to do my outdoor workout. So I didn't want to walk. So I didn't want to walk outside by myself. So I went in the backyard and I was doing squats. And I was like, I don't know if I can squat for 45 minutes. Like, this is like really treacherous. So I walked laps around my backyard and like around, like I was like basically like making circles around my house. And Phil was like, what did you do for your workout? And I was like, well, I didn't want to walk by myself at like 9 o'clock at night. So I walked laps around the house. And he was like, in the yard? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, that's weird. And I was like, no, it's not. And he was like, no, that's creepy. Like if I saw our neighbor just walking in their backyard back and forth and making laps around their house, like it would have freaked me out. And I was like, I mean, I did think of that if people saw me, because our neighborhood is like weirdly like tight knit. Like one of my neighbors told me that everyone knows everything about each other, and I haven't met more than 2 people, so I don't know how they know anything about me, but I've heard that it's very tight knit community and somehow they know all the things, which I think is good because that's a good safe neighborhood, you know, when they know the information. So they probably did see me and were wondering what I was doing, but 75 hard is one of those things that you do look like an idiot multiple times throughout the process, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure. Cause when I'm out there at 11:30, the cop that lives like 2 doors down was coming home from work clearly.
Mhm.
And the one thing that was good about like my bright orange hat that I wear of Brian's is that you just look like you're trying to make sure people can see you. When I
Yeah.
wear the black one that I got you, I kind of look like I might try to rob you. So it
Yeah.
looks like I could be out trying to commit a burglary.
It's like, who's this middle-aged white woman criminal who lives here, but
Who's
could
wearing
be-
a long puff coat with a fur hood. But
you're definitely into petty theft. That would be the thing. Just breaking into cars, checking if they're unlocked, grabbing some quarters.
I will say though, I feel like this time around is easier because I knew what to expect.
Agreed. I definitely like, there's some days where I feel annoyed, especially if I waited to do the outdoor workout. Normally I do it when it's still light out, but if I've waited until the evening, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so annoyed with myself. But the good news is like, you can do whatever workout you want. Like you don't have to ride the Peloton for 45 minutes. You could do yoga, you could do Pilates, you could literally lift weights in your house. Like you don't have to make it this like crazy,
You could
I'm
be doing
rich.
stretching. Like
Yeah, you could
make you feel
stretch,
like
which
that.
I've done sometimes because I've been so sore from the like the
Yes.
walking. So and not that I just default to like, oh, I don't feel like doing anything, I'm just gonna stretch. But there are some times where I'm like, I know my body right now, and if I worked out on top of this, I wouldn't be in a good place.
Well, it's a lot to work out 7 days a week, 2 times a day. Like, I mean, that's a lot on that takes a toll on anybody's body.
Right.
And I mean, most people would recommend taking days off in between. And so I typically try to do the walk as one, and then the other ones I try to do legs and
Mhm.
arms and ab, like kind of try to like rotate them. So it's just something different. But there has been countless times that I might do like 30 minutes of something and then stretch for the last 15. Cause I feel like if I don't do stretches, or if I don't get out like my massage gun and stuff like that, I literally like my calves will seize up and my shoulders get tight, and it's like necessity.
What do you have workout goals for 2023 now that you've risen?
I haven't really set anything up yet. I remember some of my old ones that I did last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't even thought about it because I haven't been able to like get out of bed the last month. But yeah, no, I want to get back into it. I really liked doing my treadmill walks at an incline in a
Mhm.
faster pace. Those were kind of nice. And then I have a lot of weights in my basement, so I really liked lifting weights. So I might try to do cardio and then incorporate weightlifting because I really enjoyed the weightlifting aspect.
I agree. Okay, well, I think we've gotten all of our life updates out of the way. If you guys would like to join the 75 Hard group, it's on Facebook, or you can message us for the link. And you can start whenever, and you can keep up with the group. You don't have to do the check-ins if you don't want to. You can just see what everybody else is posting. But even though we're already a weekend, you're more than welcome to join that. So,
And I just want to say, we're not there to police it. Like, it's really, you are, it's good to have everybody to bounce off of and have someone to like, essentially to have people to keep you accountable. But I'm not going to be the one that's going to be like, you didn't do it, so you need to start over. Because there's definitely been people that haven't followed it to a T, and it's like, that's your journey, right?
Yeah.
Like, if that's the point, the bottom line of it, all of it is that whether you're doing 75 hard to the T or you're just like moving, that's
Mhm.
the key, right? Like,
Right.
it's all about us wanting to have like better health. So,
Right.
So I don't want it to be overwhelming, because I feel like some people like, oh, I don't think I could do that. And to me, I guess I just feel like it's just good to have a community of people that you can chat with, like when
Mhm.
you're wanting to do it, so you don't feel like you're in it alone. And it gives you ideas for like books to read and exercises to do and all those kinds of things.
Right. I totally agree. Speaking of which, what book did you end up choosing?
Well, I wanted to reread the 75 Hard book. And
Oh.
so I also have a couple books on my phone that I was going to use too. So I've been kind of going through those.
Nice. Okay. I'm going to start us off with what is your most embarrassing moment that happened recently? I actually have one right off the bat that I can share if you guys need time to think of one.
You need to share because I need time to think of.
Yeah.
Okay, so dad and mom had a Christmas party. Did I tell you this already?
Mm-mm.
Okay, they had a Christmas party, and mom was like, if you guys want to come get food, come over. I'm thinking this is going to be like 15 people. It was like 75 people. This party was massive. So we pull up, and Phil was like, oh, there's so many cars. So dad was like so excited that we came, and was like, he didn't know we were coming. So he was like so tickled that me and Phil showed up. And of course, like Phil is dad's like claim to fame. So he was like he's talked about him so much and like blah, blah, blah. So he wanted to introduce Phil. So dad's like, oh, I want to introduce you to this person, this person, this person. So at this point I had met like, this is even that bad, but I felt so cringe. I had met probably like a good 15, 20 of his friends at this point. And dad's like, Kate, I want you to meet Rocky. And I was like, oh, great. So I'm facing this way. And this is me and dad and this one guy. And dad, I'm thinking dad like turns a little and he's facing this way, which is the dining room, because we're kind of in the foyer. So this guy is coming through the butler pantry, that little like, walkway, to get the food, because all the main food was in the dining room. And I thought that this guy that I'm turning to look at is Rocky. So I go up to this random guy and I just go, hi, I'm Kate. And I like put my hand out, and the guy was like, hi, I'm Sam, or whatever his name was, and like shook my hand and like didn't make me feel dumb, but he literally looked at me like, who the frick are you? And dad was like, oh, that's not Rocky, but yes, this is my daughter Kate. And he was like trying to make me not feel stupid, because I literally just was like, hi, I'm Kate, and like went right up to him. And the guy looked, I mean, he was like trying to be nice, but he looked so confused. Like, why? I was like, because he had a plate in his hand. So he was like going to fill up his plate, and I like interjected a handshake. And it was so abrupt. And like after it happened, I thought about it later for like 2 hours. I was like, this guy's coming around the corner and I just come in hot. Like, no, never seen me before. I'm also like a good 40 years younger than half the people here. So me and Phil looked out of place, obviously, because nobody was like, there's not a lot of 30-year-olds at this country club. They're all like in their 60s and 70s. Oh my gosh, it was so awkward. And but then like, because dad was trying to introduce me to someone else, I didn't I didn't say anything else. I just turned and went to talk to this other guy. So anyways, it probably doesn't sound that awkward or embarrassing, but it was like one of those cringe moments where you think about it forever after the fact and you're like, oh my gosh, I just want to die. Anyways, I don't get embarrassed easily, but that made me feel really stupid.
So mine, I just thought of one. This was like a few months ago, but I was singing at church, and before the service started, I was like, you know what, I should probably go to the bathroom, because when I'm singing, I drink a ton of water to make sure that like my voice is not all like dried out, or my throat isn't dried out. So I'm on my way. And I go around this like back corner. So this is kind of a area that not a lot of people have access to, like if you don't have a key card. And so I'm coming around the corner and I run into my little 80-year-old friend that I like go and like have coffee at her house.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't expecting to see anybody. And in my mind, I'm thinking I need to going to the bathroom and then get on stage. And I run into her and I was like, oh my gosh. And before I can even think about what I'm saying, because I'm just like so spastic, I was like, hi, it's so good to see you. I like wasn't expecting to see you. I like thought in my head, like, oh, I need to go pee before I go out on stage. But then I like ran into you. Hi. And she's just like, I'm gonna go sit down. It was good to see you. I was like, oh, here telling this little old lady that I had to go pee. And she's just like, I've got to go sit down because it takes me, because she like walks with a cane and like, it takes her a bit to get from one end to the other. And she knows that I need to get out on stage. And instead, I'm just sitting here telling her about how badly I have to pee.
That's amazing. I
And
also had secondhand embarrassment for Gavin DeGraw yesterday for the football game. He was singing the national anthem and his voice cracked. Did you guys see this? He was like, he grabbed the microphone and he was supposed to say like, hey, how's everyone how's it going, before he started singing. But when he went to say hey, his voice cracks. He was like, hey, how's everyone doing? And I was like, oh no, like millions of people are watching this. And to be a singer and to have your voice crack, you just like, it just, anyways, I felt bad for him. I'm still thinking about it. Okay, what was yours, Tara?
I can't think of one. I don't have anything like that's coming to mind that's happened like in the last couple of months that was embarrassing.
Tara just never does anything dumb.
I'm sure that there's plenty of things, but I literally like been racking my brain. I can't think of anything.
I'm the type too, though. If I do something dumb, I like block it from my mind.
Well,
see, I can't let it go. I'm the opposite.
The only thing that happened at the wedding that I felt like sounded worse than I intended it to come out is that there was so Abby's sister is married to Jackie and Jennifer's brother, Jackie Knapp and Jennifer Knapp. Do you remember them? So Keith and Kay Knapp's.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I would know them if I saw them.
So Keith and Kay were at the wedding, and I was like trying to like, I totally forgot that Jason is married to Anne. So I was like trying to make the connection, like, how do they know the Kaufmans or whatever? And so I was talking to Kay and she's like, oh my gosh, it's so good to see you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, how do you get, and she goes, are you wondering why we're here? And I was like, it came out, you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, I'm not meaning to sound like, why would you be here? I was just trying to like figure out like how they knew each other.
Right.
And then it totally hit me like that, he's married, but I was like, she probably thought I was like, what are you doing here? And it came out poorly.
I think the right way to say that is, how do you know the bride and groom?
Yeah. And I think so I didn't say like, how are you connected to them? I was just like, so how do you know? And then she finished this. I was like stumbling over the words, and then she was just like, you want to know like why we're here?
Well, what's funny is it couldn't happen to a better person because she's the type where she's just so chill.
Oh yeah, she's like so kind, and she would have never taken it that way. But I just felt bad when she finished the sentence because it came out poorly. Because Jackie had done like the shower, their like charcuterie, like she did this like massive, beautiful, like elaborate charcuterie, and she was in town, and I was like, oh, are you still going to be here for the wedding and stuff like that? And she's like, no, I had to fly back. And so I was trying to figure out the connection. I'm like, that's so interesting that she would have like been here from California to do this like charcuterie board. Like, I was just, none of it was making sense. And until it hit the wedding and I was like, oh, duh. Yeah. Jason's married to Anne. But it just, it all happened. Unfortunately, the realization came to me as I was talking to his mom. And then I felt really dumb. So
I actually have a room spray update. And I would like to have a moment to have a dramatic rereading of my text exchange with Phil. So
no, let's set the stage. You texted us and said, you guys, I'm spiraling. And we were like, oh no, what happened? And okay, now.
And you're like, this is not a juicy story at all.
You were like, I sprayed room spray and it's really strong and I'm nervous. I opened the windows and I keep sniffing my upstairs every 5 minutes. And now I can't tell if it's
you're ruining the story.
I've just gotten used to it. And we were like, that's it.
So to make a long story short, my brother-in-law, Jeff, was staying with us last night and Phil was flying to LA. So Phil's playing the National College Football Championship pre-game show. So Phil's
Can I
playing.
interject something real quick?
Yeah.
So that the commercial came on that Kelsey's singing for that. And Brian's like, oh, that's weird. She's doing that without her band. And I was like, no. And he was like, Phil's going to that. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, I didn't know about this. And I'm like, I didn't know that you needed to be in on Phil's travel schedule. And he was like,
You just check online.
He's like, did he already leave? And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he took off already. And he was like, oh, but I was like, when have you ever cared where Phil's
Well,
coming from?
that's also like, I didn't realize this, but when I told mom and dad was like, that's a really big deal. Like
Yeah.
hundreds of millions of people watch that game. Like the fact that Kelsey got that slot is like super cool. And dad was
That's
like,
what
and the
Brian
fact that he gets to watch the
because
game.
it's sports related. He's like, I want to know because it's sports related.
So I guess it's the Georgia Bulldogs versus Texas Christian University. Are the two
TCU.
teams, TCU, yeah.
Okay.
And some of our friends are like, well, a lot of Nashville people are from Athens or around Georgia. And so two of our really close friends are married, and one of our girlfriends is actually going to be at the game. But they're huge Bulldogs fans. So I was texting them about it. And I was like, this is a hideously stupid question, but is this like the last game? Or like what kind of, there's like all the bowl games, they get confusing to me. And she was like, no, this one's for all the marbles. And I was like, okay, this one's for all the marbles. Okay. Anyway, so Jeff is in town for a rehearsal with Marin because they have a show coming up. And so they rehearse in Nashville, obviously, and he needed a place to stay for the night. So I get home. He met up with us at our friend's house. Him and our friend Sam were finishing the Titans game at their house 5 minutes away. So we had changed the sheets earlier, and I'd gone up, and I always put like snacks in a water bottle, and I write a note like in a guest room, make sure there's towels, etc. I have this like room spray / cologne from this brand called Dossier. Not sponsored, but I wish it was. But I'm literally throwing this bottle away because now it's going to be connected to these horrible, anxious memories. And I've used this spray before, like on my couches or like in our bedroom before people come. I don't know if you guys feel this way, but having your like primary bedroom on the main floor, do you feel like it takes on the smells of your kitchen sometimes?
Yours is maybe closer to the kitchen than mine, so I don't.
But
I
even
have a
my
fan
old
in.
bedroom, like at our old house, used to like sometimes smell like what we cooked, and it would always kind of gross me out. Anyways, so I went upstairs and I was like, oh, like I'll make it smell nice. I'll spray some of this like spray. But I come back upstairs to bring something else. And I was like, dear Lord, it's really strong. And the Watsons are very sensitive to smell. Okay, so this is when I start to panic. And I texted Phil and I was like, I put some of your candy in Jeff's room with a water bottle and it wrote a note, and I sprayed some room spray so it looks and smells nice. And then Phil goes, wait, what candy did you give him?
He doesn't want to share with his brother.
I guess not. And then he goes, has he been to the house yet? And then I said, no, he went straight to rehearsal. Haha, Sour Patch watermelons and gummy bears. Okay, so I only sprayed 3 sprays, but I'm sort of self-conscious that I did that. Okay, well, maybe I'll run the fan. Once you're in here for a minute, it goes away, but now I'm feeling very self-conscious. Wait, what do I do? Haha. And then Phil just writes, LOL. And then I go, it's kind of strong. I regret everything. And he goes, I'm sure it is. And then I type, I'm scared.
I'm scared.
I'm scared. A bunch of exclamation points. What do I do? And he's like, I don't know. Open a window or something. And I put, oh my gosh, good call. He's like, open a window and turn on the fan. Sorry, this is so stupid to relive this moment. I can't believe I typed, I'm scared. And then he's like, I said, okay, great. Both windows are open and a fan is running. Oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot. And then Phil writes, room spray is never the answer. And I said, I was trying to make it special, Phil. It was that dossier spray. And then I came back up here and was like, shoot, it's kind of strong in here. Now I'm stressed. I'm literally sweating. And he's like, oh my gosh, calm down. And I said, I'm probably being dramatic. And he goes, yeah. And I said, well, damn, the good news is it smells good, but there's more bedrooms if he needs to sleep in it. And it's really too strong. And then I said, I'm feeling really self-conscious. And he put, it's fine. And I put, isn't he sensitive to smells? The good news is there's still 12 minutes left of this Titans game, plus his goodbyes will take a while. So I probably have an hour to air it out. And he just put the rolling eyes. And then I just was like, okay, I said, for what it's worth, it smells good. And then he just put, Kate, it's fine. And then I said, well, I'm sorry for dragging you into this. The windows are helping, I think. And then I said, and then I laughed, room spray is never the answer.
This is a really long text exchange.
I know. And then he like texted me back 3 hours later and put landed in LA. And I go, LOL, Jeff said the room didn't smell strong. So after all of that, Jeff said that because I told him before, he held his breath all the way up the stairs and took his first big inhale when he walked into the room to test it. And he was like, if you hadn't have told me, I wouldn't have even noticed or smelled anything at all. Oh my gosh. No, but you guys, I really did overdo it with the room spray. And I sprayed so much that I was like, I thought I only sprayed like 3 sprays, but it was like really strong. So anyways, the update is that Jeff was very nice about it. He was laughing and he was like, I wouldn't have cared even if it did smell like that. And then today he texted me and he's like, thanks for the coffee. It's really great. And I was like, yeah, now you'll be caffeinated and smelling like Joe Malone at rehearsal. And he's like, that's a bonus. So all is well. I just needed to do that dramatic retelling of my room spray story and give you guys an update because I never told you last night that he said he couldn't even smell it. So
Britton just came down and she's wearing a shirt and tights with no pants. She's really embracing this.
Did you know that's actually a trend?
Mm-hmm. I
should tell her.
Where they're basically just wearing underwear with no pants.
Yeah,
yeah,
she's a trendsetter.
We had it out one day because she wanted to wear it to school and but didn't want to wear anything else. And I was like, but those aren't pants. And she was like, but I want to wear it. And I'm like, you can wear a dress over tights. And so now she's apparently trying.
She's just embracing it at home and seeing if you'll budge.
Yeah.
Okay, my next question is, what is the most annoying color?
Oh my gosh, that was one of mine.
You're lying.
It took me 15 minutes to try to come up with this question.
Okay, it's a joint ask. Okay.
We do these episodes so often that there's only so many random questions out there that we have not done.
Okay, so my answer, because clearly I'm answering first on everything and just dominating this podcast, but my answer would be orange.
Okay.
Because orange.
Okay.
Because it's alarming and like I don't know if anyone like looks good in orange. Agree or disagree?
I mean, I like orange. The color orange.
Never wear orange.
I have a couple things that are orange.
No, coral.
No. Orange.
Name 3 things in your wardrobe now that are orange.
I have that bright, like fluorescent orange top that was from Royal and Reefs that I wear with white pants. I wore it on Easter 2 years ago.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's a neon orange.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the color orange makes me happy, but I don't wear it.
Yeah. I mean, I will give you that it takes a certain skin tone, and I would probably say it's probably not my color, but I do like the color orange. Mine is chartreuse, and I know that that's offensive to Whitney, but it just is so appalling with my skin tone. And I once bought a chartreuse sweater that I wore to Philip and Stephanie's wedding. And looking back at the pictures, one, I hate the photo. And it always marks like 4 hours before I tumbled us to our death in my Durango.
That was the wedding.
when we slid off the road off on black ice. I was wearing a chartreuse sweater. I literally got rid of the sweater right after that. I was like, never again. I'm never wearing
It's like
that
my room
color
spray.
for the sweater. But yes, I basically tried to kill our 3 cousins. So
That's sad.
You didn't try. It wasn't like you tried to kill them.
yes, I
Weird.
yeah, the car tried to kill us.
I gotta say, I don't like the color red.
You're wearing red.
No, this is like a rust color. I mean,
Okay.
like a red, like a Chiefs
Bright
red.
red.
Isaac's not gonna like me for that. I just don't like it. It's very jarring when you see it, and yeah, I don't like it.
It's weird.
Yeah, I also like a deep blue, not like a royal blue, but like not quite navy.
I love that you guys are picking colors that I wear. You're like, I just want to single-handedly point out we hate the colors that
I
you
hate
wear on
Kelly
the
green with white pants
I
specifically.
hate bright yellow.
not
And
a
a-
royal, not a
and a
royal
wooden
blue,
heel.
let's say a deep blue, maybe
Like
not
a navy
quite
blue.
navy, you know, like there's one color in your closet that you pick almost 90% of the time when you go out.
Excuse me, you chose the one color that the one color I actually wear. I
And
never wear color, and you chose the one color I wear.
and we could be like, I hate a wooden heel, specifically with an ankle strap. I'm just kidding. I actually don't mind a wooden heel, but it makes me laugh how much you like them. Okay. Do you guys have another question, or should I keep going with mine?
I have one.
Okay.
What is the most Midwest thing that you do?
Oh my gosh. What? Nothing I do isn't Midwest. I am the most hardcore Midwesterner ever. One of them is I cannot say goodbye without taking at least 30 minutes.
Oh, so where were we just at recently where it was like we started in the kitchen, then we came to the, or I think it was a Brett and Carly's, started saying goodbye in the kitchen, then we went to the front door, then they walked us out to the van, then we stood out there, then as we drove, I mean, and the whole process was like an hour, right? And then like as we drove off, they all stood on their porch and they waved goodbye.
Yes. So this is a funny thing, but when we leave the Lawsons, Phil's parents, it's almost like a ritual. Like we start loading the car, then there's this whole situation about what food are we taking home. Always. What food is Vicky packing up, either for snacks, leftovers, etc. And that takes a good 25 minutes. Then we stand in the entryway and we do the hugs. When are we going to see each other next? You know, have you done the last lap around each room? Do you have your phone charger? Did you check the shower? That conversation always happens. Phil runs back up the steps, checks the shower. I always forget my body wash. Then we get in the car, the whole thing. We stand outside. We talk for a few minutes. We do another hug. And then they go back to the porch. Everyone, they're usually there crying. We're still my mother-in-law. And then they do this. It's like a wave. I love you. I actually think it's really endearing. And I told Phil, you guys, look how weird this is. I can't lift my pinky on my right side. Isn't that so strange? My pinky on my right, I feel like I'm missing a muscle. Look at it. You're only getting the premium experience if you're subscribed to YouTube, but isn't that weird? It doesn't, that's as far as I can put it up, and I can't really do anything with it. Anyways, I was telling Phil, I think it's really endearing. So now when we say goodbye, he does this. Am I doing it right? Or is it, no, it's not this, it's
The
this.
thumb out.
Yeah, I'm not.
I was doing this, which I think that's like Texas Longhorns.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, but yeah, but anytime I go to a friend's house, like Blaine and Sky were here the other day, and it took us a good 35 minutes to say goodbye. And he's from Illinois. So
I love a good potluck.
Yeah. I feel like the food we make is very Midwest.
Very.
And then I say ope a lot. I always over apologize to people that I don't know very well. I'm very like overly kind to the server, like servers at restaurants.
I do the one-handed wave, like from when you're driving on the wheel and you just do the, you know.
Yeah. Like
at the stop sign when you're constantly like, no, you go. No, you go. Okay. And then you're like both like doing this on your face. That is so annoying. And then finally I'm like honking, like, no, you go.
Or like when you're at like a grocery store and you're like, there's cars coming and they let you go and you're doing the, oh, thank you.
Yes, literally.
Or if someone like bumps into me at the grocery store, I apologize to them.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
always.
I also do the like well, this is just in general, I feel like maybe my personality type, but anytime I'm in like a grocery checkout line, I like make a conversation with the checker, because I always feel like it's so rude when people are like buried in their phone and don't like treat the person with respect. And I was at Trader Joe's a week ago, and literally I got to the end and I like hugged the checker. Like we had this like really nice conversation. Like she had just gone through divorce. She had a hard time getting pregnant. She has 2 little kids. She's like a single mom. She got this Trader Joe's job to help her out. She moved home. Her husband was like in a
How much food
professional
did you buy?
that's a long
Not a very
lot.
long conversation.
And like at the end, she's like handing my cart and she's like, I hope the year of 2023 is just like bountiful blessings and then you get that baby. And I was like, I feel like I need to hug you. Like we had this like whole conversation. Her husband was in the military. They moved here. She's from Nashville, but she moved back and now her parents are helping her watch her kids. It was just like this really sweet coming up story where she'd just gone through a traumatic experience and we were bonding. And we get outside and Natalie was like, wow. I was like, I know, that was so nice. But yeah, like I can't think of anything I do. Like I'm never rude to customer service lines. You know, when people are like, be rude and complaining, you'll get your bill for free. I'm like, charge me more. It's fine. Like I can't do that. Oh gosh. Honestly, everything I do, I'm just such a hardcore Midwesterner.
I always get nervous that I'm not going to have enough food, and so I make more. And then
I do that.
We always have too much.
Overbuy. I tip too much. Honestly, there's nothing like being friends with someone from the Midwest. Like you'll want to be my friend. I have lived a lot. I've lived in the South, I've lived in the Midwest, and I've lived in the West Coast. And there's nothing like living in the Midwest or just being from the Midwest and having Midwest friends. They're just, and I've been to almost all 50 states. So I feel like I can vouch for different parts of the country. Would you not agree?
I think, yeah, I would say that there's a friendlier aspect for sure.
Yeah.
With people. Yeah.
See, they say the Southern people seem nice, but they're sneakily, will cut you behind your back. Like you think that they're nice from the surface, but then they're like sneakily.
I feel like Midwest has good hospitality, and I feel like they're typically very welcoming.
Yeah. What else? What other nice things can we say about ourselves? I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, I would say that like Midwesterners in general are raised to be like you said, open homes, very like generous with their money, time, and food, and very traditional when it comes to holidays, for sure.
So,
sentimental.
If you had gone out of state for college, like if you could have gone anywhere, boyfriend, family didn't matter. Like if you could have just chosen a school based off of like where you wouldn't go, where would it have been?
Well, I'm trying to think of what my answer would be now versus what it was at the time. Like if I could have chosen now to like redo it.
If I could have chosen now, I probably would have gone to, what was that one school? It was an art school, but it was in Orange County. But it was like, it wasn't you didn't get a degree. It was more like certification.
LACMA? No, that's a museum.
It was like the Orange County something.
I know what you're talking about.
I should have gone there, honestly, because it probably would have like given me a jump start on graphic design and everything like that. They specialize too in like animation and that kind of thing, and that would have been really rad. I wish I would have focused more on like a trade in the creative realm instead of just being like, let's take painting classes that literally didn't lead to anything.
Yeah.
Like, I think they were, had I gone to grad school, they probably would have shown us how to do like your own art show. But even then, that is not helpful.
Right.
Like, no one is successful. Well, not no one, but not many people are actually successful as like, starving artists. So I wish I had gone into like a trade school for art, quote unquote.
I have one of the most like special college experiences, and I never lived on campus, and like I just had like amazing memories, like very wholesome, sweet Midwest memories. So I wouldn't necessarily trade it, but if I was going to choose a school, I probably should have gone to FITM, which is a fashion institute in LA, and I think they have one in New York too, right?
I think so, yeah.
But weirdly, our fashion program had a lot of really good opportunities, and they did like study tours where we went to LA when I was going into my senior year. And we just had professors that really cared about like the trajectory of your opportunities and stuff. And even with Royal and Reese, we've worked with a lot of the professors still. So I feel like I learned a lot even still at ISU, but I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, I think weather-wise, I probably would have chosen a California school, but I feel the same way with you. Like, I was just talking to a friend the other day, just like reminiscing over some college memories and stuff. And I went into college with already like a group of people that I knew. And
Mhm.
so there was probably like 40 people down there that I at least had some knowledge of them. And so I didn't have any of this like get up and go time to try to like find a group of friends. I already had one going in. So that
Right.
was super, super special. And you just always had someone to do something with. And we were just constantly on the go and like hanging out and it was just such a fun environment because we all lived like literally within a block of each other. And so they are literally some of the best memories of my life. And so
Yeah.
it was just we were playing pranks on each other. We had every Friday night. We went like literally my freshman year, we went bowling almost every single Friday night to
That's
the
fun.
point that I was like really good at bowling. and so they were just like super, super fun memories that I will always cherish for sure. But
Yeah, I had a group of girlfriends and then a group of guy friends that we were like inseparable for most of my college years. And obviously my best friend Britt we like lived basically with each other. She was always at our house or I was with her. And we're still close friends. So I feel like for the majority of my college friends, I'm still like super close with the people I was close with in college. But we were like, I didn't party or drink in college. We would like make cups on a Friday or go. One time, me, Jake, and Britt all decided to wear pink and went to Walmart and took pictures with everything we could find that was pink. Like that was just, I mean, talk about some small town Midwest memories. I just snorted. Whoops.
that was the same kind of stuff that we did though too. I mean,
Like
we
weird.
4 years in college either. And so we played a lot of cards, obviously went a lot of bowling, like watched movies, just like hung out in people's apartments. It was like we were in and out all the time of different places. And so but yeah, I think that that's why we got to be such good friends and like,
Right.
have such a good time because we just hung out all the
Yeah.
time.
I actually like really cherish my naivete. Is that the word? Naivety of my childhood and my like college years. Like I didn't ever have like a rebellious streak or like a drinking phase or anything like that. But I feel like you said, I had such like deep relationships and stuff because it wasn't like centered around partying. Like we stayed up all night and talked or like you said, played games. And not to say you can't have that if you were partying. I just mean like I feel like the relationships were different based on the amount of time spent together doing things that were intentional, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Well, my closest friendships still are all the people that I was friends with in college.
Yeah, same. Okay. Where did the name Pina Colada come from?
We must have gotten our questions at the same place because I pulled up this website and I was like, one of the questions was, do people eat soup? And I was like, What kind of question is this?
Like, do you drink it or you slurp it? Like, is it like you eat your drink?
I don't even know. I was just kind of like, what the crap is this?
I don't actually have the answers, so I was just gonna say we could come up with a theory.
Or we could move on to my question, my one singular question that I have. If you were to be banned from your local library, what would the reason be?
Oh,
We should come up with a reason for each other. Maybe that's easier.
probably that I was berating people for wearing Crocs. It was like, how would I get arrested? I can't think of anything that brings me more rage than people wearing Crocs.
Tara, what would be a reason Kate gets banned from the library?
Probably because Kate would be telling everybody like the full honest review of books so nobody would be checking them out.
True.
She would be dissuading them from getting certain ones.
That book sucks.
Or she would be saying, I have this one at home, I'll loan it to you.
Yeah. Kate, her own
my library instead.
her own contraband library. I was gonna say Kate comes up with her own book club that isn't approved through the library, but she like tries to get people to join from the library.
She's trying to pawn.
And I try to charge people a monthly fee. When the library is free.
Kate, why would Tara get banned from the library?
Because she would never come.
What?
They would basically be like, she hasn't used her membership. So we're basically
Trying to check out a book on an expired card.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like something about how like you've never used it and then you would try to come, or like you didn't return your books in time and you have big fees.
I was gonna say Biggie's goes through and knocks over all of the book displays.
Well, that could be too. You got lots of
A little bit. That feels a little bit more realistic.
The kids took scissors to the books. That's funny. I actually was asking, Phil's aunt was a librarian for like 30 years at the Normal Public Library, or 20 years. And I was asking her how they ordered books, and she was like in charge of ordering for the children's books and got to do it every week. And I was like, that would be so fun. I learned a lot about the library that day. Okay. Here's my last question. What sound would be the scariest if you could hear it?
What sound would be the scariest?
My answer is my inner thoughts.
Man, I was gonna go morbid.
I'm teasing. You know how they talk about like people having like irrational thoughts, like this is an example, not something you think of, but like if you're driving and you see someone in the bike lane, you're just like, what if I just hit them, you know, like what you have this like, what if I just, you know, they're saying like everyone has those thoughts that are like horrible and you would never do them, but like they like these like crazy things pop in your head and you're like,
oh, and intrusive thoughts.
Intrusive thoughts, yeah. I was thinking like if someone heard my intrusive thoughts.
I think the worst would be hearing someone get stabbed.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
Well, no, it's saying a sound you can't hear, but like
that you can't hear.
Oh my gosh.
Tara took it to the extreme.
I thought you said what would be the worst.
It's like the most brutal murder of all time. This would be so scary.
That would definitely stick with you.
Yeah, I mean, duh. I'm saying like, what is something that like doesn't make sound, but if you could hear it, it would really scare you?
I can't think of something that doesn't make sense. I was watching a video where it was showing like the water was coming like this, and you could tell like these people were in a boat and you could tell something big was coming up on them, but they couldn't.
Oh yeah, and it ended up being a shark, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was like, that kind of stuff would be enough to like never make me go in the water ever again.
Yeah, that is scary because it is scary. There's like getting stabbed, a shark coming after me.
Basically, she fears death.
I can't drive on a bridge anymore without thinking about my preparation plan if I go off the side.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
I don't know. The whole thing about not being able to hear is throwing me. I can't come up with anything.
Okay, let me give you one more and we'll end on this. What would be the funniest sport if you had to add a mandate of alcohol?
Oh, geez.
Like, what sport would be the funniest to watch if all the players had to drink alcohol?
Curling.
I mean, they would all just be a sloppy mess, like every single sport.
For some reason,
Swimming would be dangerous.
Swimming, I know. I thought of that. I was thinking hockey because one, it would be hard to skate, but two, since they all like hit each other so much. But if they were drunk, they would be like, I feel like they'd be like sillier. And so I was thinking, but that too, they could probably break an ankle if they were drunk and trying to skate.
Volleyball would be pretty funny to watch.
Yeah, that actually would be really funny because I feel like basketball wouldn't be that different. You'd probably just miss a lot of shots.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like,
Depends
soccer,
on how much alcohol you're talking about. Like if they're wasted, every sport is going to be like a total mess.
That's literally what I just said.
I just mean, I think it depends on the level of intoxication.
Well, I'm assuming if it's a mandate of alcohol, everyone would have to be drunk, you know. But
That
there's
sounds
certain sports
awful.
like,
Could you imagine?
no, like soccer, watching drunk soccer players doesn't seem like it'd be very funny. Because also golf, actually golf might be kind of funny if they're drunk, if they keep missing the ball. But it's such a slow paced game, like not enough would happen where you would be like, that's why I'm thinking hockey.
Golf is a weird sport when you think about it, because every sport that you go to, you have a cheering section, right? And so like, why is it that golf, you are required to be quiet?
Yeah, isn't that so weird? Well, all places you have to concentrate.
Yeah, like you don't make everybody shut up when you're shooting a free throw, right? Like,
yeah, you do. Technically, people are quiet, aren't they?
No, the opposing fans are like standing behind them and doing all kinds of stuff to try to like make them miss. So, but on the golf course, it's, you know, the gentleman's game, so you have to like stand there and be like super quiet and not say anything. It's like it's a really bizarre concept.
It's golf such a load of crap too. I bet it was
such a scam.
I bet it is because it was like the loudness ordinance, because it's outdoors, that the people around the golf course just didn't want to hear people cheering.
Yeah, but how often are there like tournaments on your golf course? That's probably like once a year.
But why are you allowed to cheer when they make a putt or after they hit the ball? Like, why is it that, like, don't you think it's dumb that golfers have to have it completely quiet to be able to concentrate? Like, you should be able to hit the ball whether it's loud or it's quiet.
Honestly, it would make it way more fun if people were allowed to like cheer and boo.
Yeah. Well,
because that game is so boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also like drums where there's so much equipment and it's also expensive and you keep having to get more.
Yeah.
That's why it's
like the announcers are always like, he's getting ready to make his putt.
It's like ASMR.
Yeah.
Golf is the original ASMR.
It's so dumb. I mean, if you think about any other sport, it's like so dumb. They're literally like whispering into
it's like the best call I've ever made. Golf is the original ASMR. Oh, so good. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Okay, guys. Well, that wraps up our random questions and life catch up. I hope you really enjoyed this episode. And if you did, please give us a 5-star review on Apple or YouTube. Make sure to subscribe so you can watch the video version of us. You would have missed my Longhorn versus I Love You and my defunct Pinky if you don't watch on YouTube. So make sure to download.
If you didn't enjoy it, just keep it to yourself.
Yeah. And if you don't like us, just don't let us know because we don't want to know that. All right, guys, we love you. We'll be back next week with more episodes and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.